Today we are going to look at one of the simultaneous equation problems. The problem is uh, basically a fraction problem, but the thing is that one of the precondition is we have to use algebra. After all, we are doing MCAT. One of the thing I noticed is the students' reluctance to use algebra, which is not good. We have to use algebra. So first thing, the grandfathers, that's the bag containing some lollies. And we don't know how many lollies are there. Grandfather never told us, or possibly he didn't know anything about it. So we call it X. It's an unknown, and so we just call it X and simply write it X equals number of lollies, right? So that is important. You don't have to draw the picture. Now we got to form equations. Peter got, that's Peter's portion, which is 2/5 of x. And remember, in the class we decided, for the sake of simplicity, what we are going to do, we will call this 2 times x over 5. Exactly the same thing written in different ways. And Paul has quarter of x. X, what is x? X is the total number of lollies was placed into this bag of lollies. Now, one other thing we can figure out, what is the added value of Peter and Paul's number of lollies? And that's 2x over 5 plus x over 4. And by now everyone knows actually how to add them together. 5 times 4. I've seen some of the students adding those denominators. Please do not do it. We are thinking about the multiples. So 5 times 4 gives you 20. And as one of the students reminded me, you got to cross multiply or whatever. Just to remember, 4 times 2x gives you 8x plus 5x. And that gives me 13x over 20. Basically what it means, Peter and Paul got 13 out of 20th of the whole lot of lollies, which is x. Now the remaining lollies are the whole, which is x number of lollies. I'm going to subtract 13x over 20, and that'll give me 7x over 20. So that's the leftover lollies. I took a pause to clear the board. Remember, we were left with 7 of the whole thing over 20 lollies, and that rest of the lollies, which is that fraction of the whole thing, went to Mary. and that equates to 7 lollies. This is one of the things was given to us. One of the thing we figured out, this 7/20th of the whole, 7/20th of x is exactly the same thing as 7 lollies. So what I'm going to do now, after probably by now the students realized, to solve this sort of problem we cross multiply, so 7x equals 7 times 20, or go for the basic balancing rule. I'm not going to get into all those discussions. So 7x equals 140 and x equals 20. So basically what we figured out, the children's grandfather sort of his gift was a bag containing 20 lollies. You must write that statement. Some kind of textual communication is very important. We got to write it down. I think what I'm going to do, I'll stop there. One of the main message of the whole discussion, you have to use algebraic equations. Please do not forget it. Thank you.